Hey, hello, good evening, good day, whatever, and welcome to another Kuma's Kitchen. Today is a special request. So my friend Gordon Flynn was recently in Berlin, and he fell in love with something called Berliner Currywurst. And he said, Kevin, can you make the recipe? And I said, well, I'm going to try. I've never been to Berlin. I've never had Berliner Currywurst, but it sounded good. So I did a little bit of research on the history. Well, it turns out that in 1949, things were rough. I mean, things were tough in Berlin in 1949. Food was scarce and all. And this lady called Herta Heuer, she traded some homemade alcohol, probably something like that, to some British soldiers. And she got ketchup and curry powder and Worcester sauce. And then she made up this mixture and she started selling it. And it became super popular in Berlin and even in other parts of Germany. And her stand was there forever. And still to this day, there supposedly is a stand still there. She's long gone, but the currywurst keeps going. And so what I did was I played around. And I believe it'll come up. I'm going to have to see, Gordon, you're going to be the test on this, whether it tastes the same or not. But I already had a little taste of the sauce. Let's have the sausage. I can see why you like it. Yeah, it's really good. I think that sauce would be great with eggs and stuff in the morning too, and all kinds of things. Okay, so easy to make, fun to eat. Let's go in the kitchen and make some right now. All right, so here's the ingredients I put together for this Berliner Currywurst. Across the front, I've got 1 tablespoon of honey, 1 tablespoon of paprika, and 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 2 tablespoons of curry powder, 1/2 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, you know, the one I have a hard time saying all the time. Over here, 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Then over here we've got 2 cloves of garlic thinly sliced, half an onion finely chopped, 1/2 cup of ketchup, and I can't get bratwurst. And the ones I can get are actually, Reiko has an allergy to them. So these are Japanese wurst. They're quite nice, pork ones. Really, bratwurst, I would think Swiss cervelat would be good. Any of those kind of big fat wursts. So I've got 6 of them there, which is just right for us. You might want more. Hey, you can adjust this recipe. I would also say if you're going to make this, this is for the sauce, is that you could make a huge batch of it, like you double or triple this, and then always put some aside. Probably be great on fried eggs. Yeah, I think I'd want some for breakfast now. All right. Now, when Gordon was telling me about this, I noticed when I went online to do a little research, was that a lot of times the Berliners eat this with thick cut fries or things like that. But in Switzerland, when I'm having a wurst, I like to have it with the brötli. Brötli is a small bread. Like brot is bread, brötli is small. Easily for everything small. Of course, I couldn't get a Swiss-style brötli, but I got a couple of ciabatta buns from a nearby bakery, and they're going to be perfect for this. All right, first thing I want to do, I want to start cooking up the sauce. So we're going to get the olive oil into our little saucepan here. And then I'm going to bring that up to medium heat. And now, get the onions ready. They're finely cut, so I'm going to cook these for about 5-6 minutes. You just want to get them softened up a bit before everything else goes in. All right, just going to stir that every once in a while. See you back here, 5 to 6 minutes. All right, that's been about 6 minutes. The onions are actually starting to brown just a little bit. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'll put the rest of all these ingredients in there, everything except for the wurst and the bread. So let's get that ketchup in there. Oh, get this guy out of the way. And then the Worcester sauce, the honey, the mustard, and the curry powder, and the paprika, and the garlic. All right, what do I want to do now? First of all, I'm going to turn that heat down a little bit. Mix that in. I'm going to keep the heat really low and simmer this for about 10 to 15 minutes. Oh, that is smelling, yeah, quite good. Okay, Gordon, let's see what you mean. This is looking like lovely stuff already. All right, see you back here. I think we're about 10 minutes to be good. All right, so now while this is simmering away here, I'm just going to give it a stir every once in a while, make sure nothing gets, I don't want it to get burned or anything. But with this pot, I think it's pretty even heating, so should be fine. All right, what we're going to do now is get the wurst ready. Now, one of the things with wurst I always do, you don't want them to explode in the pan, so just give them just a little cut. Not all the way through. I need to sharpen my knife again. Oops. And just do that on both sides like that, like that, like that. Just enough to let the air escape so they don't blow up on you. All right, so those guys are all ready to go in the pan. Now, I would usually do these in like my cast iron fry pan or like a grilling pan, you know, with the ridges. But one of the things, to get a real crispiness, you want to use quite a bit of oil. And I really don't want splattering all over my kitchen. I don't have a splatter shield. Used to have one of those in Canada. I've never been able to get a hold of one again. So what I'm going to do now instead is I've got this big deep pot. So hey, that's my splatter shield. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the crispier you want the outside of your wurst, the more oil you should put in. So if you want that real crispiness like the Berliner Wurst gets, you'll be putting about a 1/4 inch, 5 millimeters of oil in here. I'm not going to get quite that carried away. I'm happy with my wurst anyway they are. But we get that up there. We're going to get into a pretty decent heat, so medium-high heat, and let's get those cooking. All right, in they go. All right, gonna cook those until they're nicely browned. So about halfway through, flip them over, keep going. And this is looking good and smelling good. All right. Yeah, I really think 10 minutes is enough. Yeah, it's just about ready already. Let's have a little taste of that. Oh, yeah, that is an interesting mixture with the curry and the ketchup and all. I'm liking it. All right, see you back here in a little bit. All right, so that's been not even 10 minutes, and even with just I only got about an eighth of an inch or 2-3 millimeters of oil in there, and still, look at that. Crisping nicely. Beautiful. Yeah, wow, look at that side. That's a, you know, medium-high heat, so we're getting a lot of heat in there. Ooh. Let me turn that off now. Okay. What I want to do now is I want to take these. Yeah, I'm not going to touch those with my hands yet. They're going to be hot. And just cut them into pieces. So just where I made those cuts before, pretty good spot right there to cut. Cut them into chunks like that. Whoa, good bite-sized piece. And now, in with that sauce we've been making. Just toss them all in there. Get that out of the way for right now. And then just mix it. Yes, mix until all the pieces of wurst are coated with the curry sauce. All right, that's looking good. I'm going to serve that up. There it is. Serve that up into a bowl, or they would just put it into I guess your street food. You just have it in a tray. At home, we could put it into a little bowl or something like that. Just get all that good sauce out of there. Oh, look at that. So, Gordon, is this taking you back to Berlin? I must get there one day. Back when I was in Europe a lot, you couldn't go. It's hard to get there, you know, because we still had the Iron Curtain and all. And little known story, those of you who know I'm in Japan. I ended up here, where he came from. I ended up here because I was supposed to go to Dresden. Back in 1996, supposed to go to Dresden and build a dormitory for a university there. And that would have been my first time behind, you know, into Eastern Europe. It was like I was really looking forward to it, and the fact that I speak German, although not that kind of German, but I figured I could get by even with my Swiss German. And but the visa never came through, and then I got a call to come to Japan, and I ended up in Japan. That's how I ended up here. Dresden, no. Japan, yes. I didn't even know where Osaka was when I first came here, but I'm glad I came here because I love living here. Even if we don't have currywurst. Oh, that is good. You know how to eat this? Well, use a skewer. All right, if you like this Berliner Currywurst recipe, stick around. Many more original Kevin Riley Kuma's Kitchen recipes. This is not an original Kevin recipe, but it's an original Kevin Riley's idea on maybe this is the recipe for making a Berliner Currywurst. Just going from the history I've seen. So I'll have to wait for the verdict as to whether this is the what we call echte or real. Anyways, stick around and make sure you subscribe to the channel because there's a lot of new ones coming out all the time. There's a new one coming out every Monday. And also, hey, if you're not yet a patron of Kuma's Kitchen, well, please consider becoming one. It's like just $3 a month. You could be supporting the creation of all these recipes and these recipe videos, and also getting the cool stuff that the patrons get. All right, now go make this and make cooking fun again with Kuma's Kitchen.